In this video, you'll learn how to communicate between blueprints. A shout out to Valeria all the way from Italy for this request. What we're going to do is have the player character or blueprint turn off the light blueprint. You can see the red light over there. We'll right click on the light to highlight it and then click Browse to Asset. Here's going to be the light blueprint. We'll double click on it to open it. We'll click on the event graph. We're going to pull in our point light because that's what we're going to work with. That's what we want to turn on and off. Next, we'll right click on the event graph and we'll type in event. We'll click Add Custom Event and give it a name. Now let's pull off the point light pin and type in visible. We're going to click Set Visibility and we'll connect these two. And you can see that new visibility is going to be off. So whenever we call this turn off light, it's going to set the visibility of the point light to invisible or off. We'll go ahead and compile and save that. Now let's right click on our character blueprint and we'll click Browse to it. There's our character blueprint. We'll double click on it. Right click on the event graph. We're going to type in keyboard L. So whenever we press L on the keyboard, it's going to execute a function. We're going to pull off the execution pin. We're going to type in get all actors. We're going to choose get all actors of class. They have other great ones in here. Get all actors with tag, get all actors with interface. These are all great, but we're going to do actors of class. We're going to click the drop down arrow and we're going to choose light bulb. This is for a loop, but because we know there's only one light bulb in there, we're going to pull off this and say get a copy. Now just a note, if you change the light bulb or if you add different actors, instead of just changing this, sometimes it won't work properly. It's best to delete this and then recreate this again from scratch. So now that we know that there's only one light bulb in there, it's going to look for the light bulb and it's going to make an array. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, however many it finds and put it in this copy right here. But we know it's only going to find one and arrays start with 0. So it's going to get 0, which will be this light bulb. And then so now we'll have a reference to it. And that's what this is called. It's a reference to that light bulb so we can communicate with it. Compile. We're going to pull off this pin and we're going to type in turn off. And you remember when we created that event, the turn off event? This one right here, now we have access to it. And the cool thing about doing get all actors of class is if you made variables in here, you have access to those too. And you can do it both ways. In here, you can do it opposite within the light bulb blueprint and look for the third person character. So you say get all actors of class, third person character, and then you could get them and change anything in that blueprint. Very cool. This is one of my favorite pieces of code. So that's it. You're going to get all actors of class. You're going to find any light bulbs. It'll build an array, but because we only have one of the light bulbs in there, we can get a copy of it and just go to the 0 index, which is the first one that it finds, and then we're going to do turn off the light. Now, let's say you had a lot of these light bulbs in there, then you would do a for loop. So you'd put a loop in here and it would keep looping through here. It would get the first one and you would perform an action on it. It would get the second one, you'd perform an action on it through the array. But if you just have one, this is the easiest. And if you had, let's say you had a lot of different colored light bulbs, then you would create this one and then you would create another get all actors of class below it and then another one, or do this one and then create the same thing over here. And then you would change the light bulb, like so you'd have light bulb green, light bulb blue. And so you just have a bunch of these get all actors of class and they would go out and perform different options on each one. Let's go back to our map and let's try it out. We'll click play, go over to our light. Now we're going to press L on the keyboard and it turns off the light. Pretty easy. Now let's say if you wanted to do something, not just turn off the light, let's say you wanted to make the light bulb itself invisible. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll go to our light bulb and now we have it set visible. We're going to have the whole. Now instead of just setting the visibility for the point light, what we'll do is set the visibility for the whole blueprint. So now when we So now when we execute the turn off light event, it's going to set the actor, the light bulb actor, the self, and you can see new hidden, going to be hidden. Let's test it out. Okay, we're going to press L, and it's hidden. That's it. Pretty easy. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd be more than glad to answer them.